All right, so this ideal keeps coming up in my life over and over and over and over and over again. The idea of opportunity cost. So I was in the shop, and the spirit told me, "Yo, um, opportunity cost is the same for success and failure. So it's just different emotions, and I've heard this before in my spirit. Different results, different emotions, different consequences, right? So because there are different consequences, emotions, thoughts, feelings, um, different relationships. Oh, that's a good one. Oh my goodness. Different relationships because of polarity. Like when you're successful, oh shit, you experience different relationships, and you really, really do. When you're determined to be successful in a certain area, you experience different relationships because you have to, everything counts um, towards your legacy, right? So because everything is towards your legacy, you you view things very differently. Like I view things very differently because about relationships because everything is about my legacy, right? So I don't value an independent, strong woman because legacy will require us having balance. So if she feels like she has the balls in the relationship, it's not going to work for me long term because according to the legacy that I want to have, I can't have somebody who feels they need to compete with me or they feel like I can do bad all by myself. And next to you do things that mm, oh shit. Oh my god. Mm, God have mercy. Mm, shit. Wait a motherfucking minute. Mm, oh shit. That shit hitting me. Woo! That shit hitting. Mm, God damn. Sheesh. But I don't have the time for somebody who feels they can do bad all by themselves. Don't need nobody. And is not thinking in the feminine nature of us instead of just herself. Because the traditional masculine figure or feminine figure for consciousness Libra is about other people. She balances herself and does what she needs to do for herself, but her role is relationship, right? So because of how I think legacy wise, I can't have a woman who is super independent because she's I driven. Independent women are super masculine independent women. No, me say independent women. Super masculinized women are very I driven. They're not relationship orientated. And according to femininity, there aren't a lot of alpha women. And just because like I heard it from this podcast. Um, Alpha women don't exist unless you're operating in the rules of femininity and beauty. Alpha women are oh shit, god damn it. Um, only exist if she is the most beautiful and she's the most feminine. Alpha women don't exist because you make the most money. That's a man thing. Or you have the most status. That's a man thing. Men rate themselves based on income and status. Women, what's going on? Women rate themselves based on beauty and femininity and seduction. The ability to seduce on the fact that they can get what they want with more ease than men. Um, and I'm not saying women don't have to negotiate, but women more are more like the book of, like the like the book, The Art of Seduction. Women's negotiations tactic is mainly seduction, not 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 trade-offs per se, quote unquote, or tricks of the mind, triggers of the mind, which is somewhat important. But um, I've learned, like when I was, like I said, in the shower, that, like I thought in the shower, opportunity cost. So the reason why I'm not a fan of, especially men, tricking off their 20s, and yes, I know our prime is in our 40s, but your prime won't really be your prime in your 40s if you trick off your 20s. If you're like, oh, I get to chill and I get to relax and not do shit, like, that's for the birds. Because you know what I'm learning at 25? You're gonna be a slave in your 40s if you fuck up in your 20s. Like, you're gonna have to work harder than necessary. And that doesn't mean like in your 40s you're not gonna have to work hard, but you have to make up for shit. You get what I mean? And because you have to make up for shit in your 40s, um, the opportunity, like for instance, the opportunity cost. When I thought about success, when I thought about success, it's the same thing as failure. It's just different emotions, different, like, again, like I said earlier, different relationships, different um different uh different relationships, different opportunity, different different set of emotions, sometimes different set of family, because of the family you create. Because when you become more successful, financially, and especially for men, you finally get the opportunity to see family differently. So you get to say, no, you know what, I don't want to create that type of family dynamic. Let me get some therapy, let me get some healing, let me get some, because you can afford it, you can pay for it, you feel me? You can pay for it, you can pay to have somebody keep you accountable, you feel what I'm saying? But when you don't have no money, and like you can't even pay somebody to keep you accountable, I'm not saying that you always have to pay somebody, but when you have to do it yourself, it's kind of hard. I ain't gonna hold you. It's hard. It's harder. You feel me? Um, but when you realize losing, it's just like, if you see it as a funnel going up and down. Uh, when you're losing, all you're doing is going down the spiral. It's the same spiral. That's why I say it's the same thing. We and because of our emotions, we like to think it's different, and that's because of our human experience, and because of our emotions, we tend to think, oh, it's different um, because of our feelings. You feel what I'm saying? But really, it's just you're going down the spiral, and you're getting what comes with going down the spiral. You feel me? But um when you are going up the spiral, it's the same resistance. It's just that gravity is taking you down instead of you pushing up. You feel what I'm saying? So you don't have to work as many muscles per se. You don't have to grow yourself in the same way um, when you're going down than when you're going up. Like, it's easier to go downhill than uphill, but at the same time, the risk can be a lot faster because you can't control yourself fully when you're going downhill. Um, when you're going uphill, you have to have more control. You have to pause. You have to work out. You have to, you have to, you have to grow yourself. You have to stretch yourself. You have to have people keep you accountable. You have to ask for help, etc., etc. Going downhill, Not so much. You going downhill, you going downhill, and I mean downhill in life. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so, um, so, damn, hit. Woo! Eat that food that's hitting today. But anyway, they both trust the invisible. Up, going up and down, and I'm learning that so many people, and I've learned in my life, like I think everybody in this life gets at least one opportunity to get rich or get wealthy, and usually because they pass up the opportunity, and I think even some guy said many people pass up an opportunity because it's dressed in overalls called work, right? And it's true. I think many people get an opportunity to do a lot of things in life. I think because of what it costs them, they don't take it. Does that make sense? Because of what it's gonna cost you and what you gotta pay to have what you want, you don't take it. And that's some real shit. And then when you look back at, when you, like you say 40, 50, 60 years old, you look back at your life and then you say, if this is what I had to pay, I know I'd rather have paid the opposite price. Because you're gonna look back and say, fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'll give you an example. I was just trying to tell my roommate before she shut it down. I was like, pay the price to attract men who have fathers in their lives. Meaning good men, or men who have a solid foundation of who they are, etc., etc. Because when you're always dealing with a certain caliber of person, you pay that price. You go downwards. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of women, especially women, they don't want to take responsibility when they're going downward according to relationships. They don't want to pay the price of going upwards. Meaning, like you have to let heavy shit, like the baggage, all this stuff that comes with, like, just a pot, but we should say it's baggage. The baggage that you have to, like, that you have to carry going upwards, you gotta let it go, because you can't go further up with less oxygen and more baggage, right? So a lot of women want the top 20% of men. You can't go with all this fucking heavy loaded shit and then be like, why am I attracting the right type of men? So your baggage will actually take you downwards. And baggage can also mean who you're relating to on a regular basis. So that's why I was like, yo, like she made me had another dawning, and I was like, yo, you, like I posted, I suggest that not sleep with. I suggest men talk to multiple, like this is why I fuck with platonic relationships. Speak to different types of women, because they, just based on perspective, they'd be like, whoa, but I saw, but this, like, I'll give you real life shit. Women, like, I would talk to a woman who would say, oh, all women think like this and blah 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 blah, right? All women are like this and all women are like that. And I'm gonna tell you, the law of polarity is a real fucking thing, okay? The law of polarity would work in my life, and I would go meet a woman who doesn't share that opinion, and they share the opposite opinion. No cap. They share the total opposite opinion, and they would say, why does that person feel that way? Because I definitely don't. That is so wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then you will be mind fucking blown when you're like, yo, um, damn, you got where you thought, like, for instance, you thought what a person said was law, and you met a person that says, that's bullshit. Total contradiction. Like, I'll give you an example. You could have your mother, right? Your mother could make you feel like such and such is law in whatever she's talking about, right? Your mother could say, "Hey, burn." Oh, yeah. Your mother could say, "Such and such is law. Women think like this. You need to be like this. You need to be like that." Woo, 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 woo. And you go out into the world and you meet women who totally contradict whatever you was taught by your mother growing up. And in that opposition, there's opportunity. That's don't let that fly over your head, you heard? In that opportunity, in that opposition, there's opportunity. So when you meet a woman, for instance, who is totally opposite than the women who you've dealt with before, no cap. Like the law of polarity states, there is an equal. No, excuse me. There's always a opposite to every pole. Meaning, if you met a woman who don't like to cook, who don't like to be feminine, who don't like to do for her man, who don't like to cater to her man, there is a woman out there who is totally opposite to that, right? So when you meet a woman who is totally opposite to that, she'll challenge your whole existence because you think, because you've been conditioned with this person to think that women operate like this, right? This is a woman thing, right? And when you think this is a woman thing, and then you meet a woman who is totally opposite of what you've experienced, now there's an opportunity in front of you to get a totally different experience. And based on who you are, you either gonna pay the price to change because that new opportunity showed up, or you're gonna be like, oh, you bitches are the same, boopity boop boop boo, and blah 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 blah, and all this bullshit, right? And then you miss the opportunity and re-attract what you didn't like before. And then you have remorse and regret to be like, damn, he really wasn't like that for real. Or she wasn't really like that for real. I was blinded by my pain. You get what I mean? So you miss the opportunity because you were blinded by your pain. And a lot of women are blinded by their pain. You get me? And they don't have no support. They don't have no girlfriends. They don't, and I think that's important too. As much as low vibration as a lot of women are, I think it's important for women to have girlfriends because they need to some of my friends would tell me, relationships can be very draining, right? So I think that you need to have time to deal with the same sex. I feel like if you are always dealing with the opposite sex, it can be, and I say that because I do it a lot. It can be very draining dealing with the opposite sex. So but also you got to be careful of who you're dealing with the opposite sex because they can fuck your whole life up. You fuck your opportunity up. Got to be careful out here. Bitches is trifling, niggas is trifling. So what I'm learning, fuck. No, I just put that other sauce in there. So opportunity cost, bro. Opportunity cost is like, this is why I tell women all the time, your thinking is obsolete and it's bullshit when it comes to men. I promise you, you probably had an opportunity with a good man and you fucked it up. If all you've ever experienced is bad men, I promise you, the opposite reality. And women have, I've told women this, and they went and they experienced it, and they say, yo, what you're saying is real. The law of polarity really exists. I said, yeah, you will get an opportunity. And then you have to decide what you're going to do about it. Right? So, opportunity cost. And the same thing with men. You'll meet a woman who's not all that you like. And then you have the courage to say, I don't want to deal with this no more. This doesn't fulfill me anymore. You know? And, oh, my neck. And the opportunity will, and I say it because it's happened to me, the opportunity will come to deal with the opposite reality. And you gotta be willing, and sometimes you can't be prepared all the time, but you gotta be willing to deal with that opportunity, because it will cost you either going down or up. When you're going up with less oxygen, you have to train your body, you have to train your mind, you have to prepare yourself, you have to discipline yourself, you have to sacrifice, because it's not the same resistance. You will face resistance going up, but you also will face resistance going down. So click the link above and get my $2 manifestation guide.